Bring back rock.
Hey everybody, it's Dean. Welcome to Bring Back Rock. Today we're talking about one of my favorite newer bands. By newer, I mean they've been around about 20 years. You probably heard of them because they had a huge spike in popularity about a year and a half ago, maybe. As a matter of fact, one of their songs went to number 1 on the streaming charts. If you like your rock that's unpretentious, with big, huge sing-along choruses and a legit guitar player, you're going to find a lot to like. If you like your stuff a little bit heavier, I'd check out their later records. If you like it a little bit more poppy, I'd start at the beginning. I started at the beginning. My favorite happened to be the first and third record, but check them all out and see what you think. They were kind of one of the pioneers of that Scandinavian sleaze and glam revival. And I talked a little bit long in the description, so I'm not going to go too long up front here. We're going to get right into it and talk about Wig Wam. All right, first thing I want to do is apologize just in case there's any name mispronunciations. I heard the singer's name pronounced at least 3 different ways, so I'll do my best. Okay, now, Åge Steen-Nilsen, who was the singer, he turned 30 and figured he kind of missed his chance at musical stardom, rock and roll stardom, so I may have the timing wrong, but I think this is where he started doing stage productions, musicals, etc., which gave him a new way to make money, introduced him to a higher caliber of musicians, and taught him a lot about stagecraft, how much work and timing goes into the productions. He even does his own productions, and this also helped with Wig Wam shows. I'll give you a quick example. The band decided they wanted the limo to come out on stage, and while their intro music was playing, and then they were going to walk to their instruments and start playing the song as soon as the intro ended. So they did their sound check, and they decided, all right, let's go have a beer and relax a bit. And Åge says, nope, it's time to rehearse the opening. And they're like, what do you mean? We're getting out of a limo, walking to our instruments. And he's like, no, yeah, the tape starts playing. When do we bring the limo out? When do we get out of the limo? How long does it take us to get to the instruments? So as soon as that intro tape ends, boom, we go. So they kind of understood, all right, there's a few more details than just having an idea and implementing it. You got to actually work it out. Now, Trond Holter, he's a guitar player, and he was in a couple bands before Wig Wam that had some success. He was with Evinrude, and they released an album, One Size Fits All, on Mercury Records, and with Dream Police. The self-titled album came out on CBS, and Messing with the Blues came out on Columbia, so he is well known on the local scene. He put together a jam band with Åge and the rest of Wig Wam called Absolute Friday Band, where they played rock covers from bands like Van Halen and Kiss, which was great for Åge because he was tired of being told to sing like bands like Oasis and stuff and be able to rock out to the songs he loved. They also started dropping in original songs, not telling the crowd, and they went over great with fans thinking they were like obscure songs by the bands they loved. Now the band got an offer to do a corporate 80s themed gig. Thinking this could be a new revenue stream, they decided the band needed a new name. Wig Wam was picked, and Åge put together a backstory, which is this. They're an American band who were in New York, partied too much, got into drugs, and had their music stolen by bands like Kiss and Bon Jovi. They decided to infiltrate the Norwegian scene, took on Norwegian names, but now they're taking their music back, and their birth names are back. So Åge Steen-Nilsen becomes Glam on vocals, Trond Holter becomes Teeny on guitar, Øystein Andersen, I'm going to spell the first name, Oystein, became Sporty on drums, Bernt Jensen became Flash on bass. Now in 2004, they entered the Eurovision contest. If you're not familiar with the Eurovision contest, it's basically a songwriting contest where each country that participates nominates one band and one song to represent the country. And then the countries vote on other country songs till you get a winner. Now, it's a pretty big deal and big ratings winner in Europe. Now, they came in 3rd in Norway, gave the band a lot of local momentum. They recorded their first album, 667, Neighbor of the Beast, in Trond's home studio, with Glam doing some songs, singing some songs right in Trond's bedroom. In 2005, Eurovision invited them back, but they declined. However, they were persistent and offered do any song and we'll enter you in. So they chose finally In My Dreams, and they won in Norway. Then they went to the finals and finished 9th overall, which really broke the band. The song even went to #1 in Norway for 3 weeks. At this point, they were given a lot of offers to do shows and tours, one-offs, festivals, and shows in Norway. The shows in Norway paid much, much better. They figured this was probably going to be over by the end of summer. We better take the money while we can. So they did a lot of gigging in their home country, and kind of now regretted it a little bit because they could have expanded their exposure in other countries by taking some of the lower paying gigs and the festival gigs. In 2005, they also released Hard to Be a Rock and Roller, which was basically a remixed update of the first album. Then in 2006, they released Wig Wam Mania. In 2010, they released Non-Stop Rock and Roll. And in 2012, they released Wall Street. Now, around this time, the band broke up. Infighting, burnout, etc. had really killed the band. Glam also said he started really kind of living that glam character, too much partying, etc. And it was not good for his mental health, physical health, and it ruined his marriage, he said. As time went on, though, after they had broken up, he started talking to Tron, and then he started talking to the other guys, started hanging out, and they really just having good conversations and just becoming friends again and, rekindled their friendship. Glam was getting offers for the band to get back together and do like one-off shows, etc. And he didn't even mention it for quite a while until he decided, maybe I should really mention it to the guys. So they all were excited to do it. So they started to put everything together. They said, maybe we should write a new song, write a single if we're going to do these shows. Those started to songwrite, and it went better than ever before. So they decided, hey, well, let's just do a whole album, and the band was back. Never Say Die was released in 2021. However, not much happened as COVID had shut down the world. There was little promotion, no touring, and it kind of killed the album. Things got so bad that the band was dropped by their management, who said they couldn't get them gigs and they had no prospects. Now, just earlier, they were contacted by someone in the U.S. to use their song, Do You Want to Taste It? They thought maybe it was for a restaurant commercial or something. Then they found out it was for James Gunn's Peacemaker series with DC. They didn't know who Peacemaker was. They had to look him up, had to Google him. Now, they didn't really know how it was going to be used in the series. However, as you probably know now, it ended up not just being in the show, but as the opening credits song, complete with an insanely beautiful dance routine by the cast. So amazing, it went completely viral. Both the opening with the cast, people doing it in their basements. I think there's a Lego version. I saw a high school talent show version. All sorts of stuff. Streaming numbers absolutely exploded, went through the roof. Management came crawling back, but the band had already contacted friends in the industry that they knew to start booking them shows and signed with somebody else. However, they did take that lunch with their old managers anyway, just as a final kind of screw you for dropping them literally 3 days before the Peacemaker premiere. I mean, they even said, hey, we got this Peacemaker thing coming up. They're like, yeah, that won't help the band. And they still decided to drop them. Crazy. Okay, asked about having to play Do You Want to Taste It every show now, will it get old? Well, Glam says that they had that within my dreams already. And he always thought that Do You Want to Taste It should have been a bigger hit. He would play it at some of his solo shows and stuff. Tron said this is a good way to look at it. He had a big hit with one of his other bands that was on the radio, and a normal song. He didn't think anything special of it or anything. But when you're playing the gig and that's the song people are there to hear and they're singing every word back and the excitement level goes up, it's what really makes playing songs like that special. So now they have it with Do You Want to Taste It as well as In My Dreams. They now also have management in the U.S., the same group that handles people like Bret Michaels, Lita Ford, Dokken, Warrant, lots of big names from back in the day. They did a short tour here, but now have a 3-year visa and plan on coming back. Hopefully maybe for some package shows with some of those bands or festivals. Whatever it is, I hope they come close to me because I want to see some Wig Wam. I want to share a quick story with you. I told you earlier about Glam knowing every aspect of every show, kind of like Kiss when they have their pyro. They know when in the song it's going off and where it is, and they can't be there when it happens. Well, because He knew every inch of the stage show. The pyro guy one night had his back turned to the stage, but he knew that Glam knew everything there was about the stage show. So instead of turning around before he ignited it, he ignited the pyro when he was supposed to, and at that point Glam was standing right over it, took pyro in his face and blinded him. He said he was blind for over 5 minutes. They ended the show, rushed him backstage, and I'm sure the vision didn't just come right back either. He said it was extremely scary for that time when he could not see a thing. The newest release, Out of the Dark, came out in 2023. Now, in my opinion, the last two albums are a little bit heavier. I think the guitar tone is a little bit different. So just that's my opinion. The title track takes on a serious topic of domestic abuse. Now, Glam, he has this huge Queen show that he put together. It's been going on for years. He's not trying to be Freddie Mercury, but it's a celebration of Queen music, skits, etc. And it has been extremely successful. I believe this year's show is going to be in like the biggest arena in Norway. He was in Nordic Beast, which was interesting. It was with John Norum from Europe, Mickey D from Motorhead, and Hal Patino from King Diamond's band. They play music from their respective bands, and they plan on writing new music, but they put their respective bands first. The other thing, when he was on his break, Glam recorded with the band Ammunition and released a couple albums. If you like the Wig Wam music, you'll probably like Ammunition as well. Now, he also had some solo albums, which are a whole different style, more singer-songwriter style. Trond is producing, and him and Jorn Landy put out an album called Dracula's Swing of Death in 2015. He's also in a band called Baby Snakes, which released an album and features Wig Wam bassist Bernt Jensen as well. All right, so that is Wig Wam, and we will play some music samples and catch up with you at the end of the video.
Stars on the flying thing. Getting high. Getting snowblind games. Pikachu, Chickapoo in the world beyond. Got a beat, got a heat on the phone. It's tear your world apart. Once the magic starts. Do you really want to taste it? What's going on must come down.
Love is all over me.
sensation when I'm by your side. Don't need no transportation when you take me for a ride. You know I get excited when you put your spell on me. You can lock me up forever and throw away the key. 'Cause you're mine, all mine, lighting up my fire. I don't care about anything as long as you're around. 'Cause you're mine, all mine, the one that I desire. You don't like to waste no time when we're getting down. It feels like getting higher. I can see up, it moves my ground up to a higher place. You can steal my girl, crash my car, feed me to the snakes. I say no, no, no. You can't kill my rock and roll. No, no, no. You can't kill my rock and roll. You can hear what I hear when my guitar screams. You don't shake like I shake when the big drum beats. It's way too overkill. We got the means, so give me your screams over and over again. Power action, ready to blow. Power action, out of control. Bring the devil to me. Come on, everybody, let's move on to the point. Get yourself together, and we will rock this joint.
All right, so that was a little bit on Wig Wam. Where can you find them? Well, they are thankfully on all your streaming services. All the albums are out there. You can check them all out. The newer ones you can still find on, normal CD prices. Some of the older ones have gotten more expensive. So if you're looking for those, you got to shop around if you don't want to pay too much. They're also all available to digitally download. So you can support the artist that way and then maybe burn a CD. So at least you have a physical copy if they ever go off the streaming services. And that's it. If you're not familiar with them, I'd check them out. I think you might really like them. I really do. I appreciate everybody watching. And if everybody subscribes, shares these, takes time, spends time on the channel. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And we will catch you on the next episode.